I'm gonna spend the day building and just seeing if I can improve it all. So I started by just clearing this land around here. For my foundation, the stone, I decided to texture a bit of cobblestone and logs for my oak floor. I went with like a decent sized home here with lots of oak and some oak logs on top. Adding this little porch here turned out really nice. I made sure to include a lot of the spruce to texture in the wood to make it makes it like pop more. Also in the floor and the top. And for my roof, I went for a pretty basic look. I started with stone, just going around the outside of the house, and I used the oak stairs to fill everything and kind of mesh in the corners. Texturing in the spruce, just adding a bit of nice depths and touches. Putting in the cobblestone mixed with the stone makes it look less flat and kind of pops more. Same with the chimney, adding the granite. And then for the side, I decided to start adding some details. The trapdoors on the corners turned out really nice. I really like adding the shrubbery with the trapdoors, the hanging lanterns. Everything just started to come together pretty well. And I kind of went around the house, mimicking the same kind of thing. Now adding a bit more depth to the floor so it looks less flat. Putting them in front of the windows is a nice touch. That's kind of a good base point. So yeah, I think it's turning out pretty good so far. I'll add the pathway, start the pathway around the house so it looks like it's on some land. And for the interior, I started with my storage, crafting, cooking area. Just very basic interior. A little bit of carpet to add a nice soft feel, and more storage upstairs. So if we move around to the right side of the house, I decided to put a farm here. Stone pillars as like mark and just fencing it off. The lanterns for the light. And in my farm I made sure to add the wheat seeds, the beets, and the carrots. I found that it looks nicer than just having one solid like crop. Adding some hay bales around with some cobwebs to make it look like it's been sitting there for a while, and some bone meal just to make the ground pop. So this is how the farm turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. Starting at the other side of the house, I wanted to make a stone wall that went all the way around the house for kind of like a compound feel. Later I'm going to like texture in my other blocks. I included these little pillar things that are every like 3 or 4 blocks or so, putting in the cobblestone, using a bit of walls and slabs to add like more height and stuff to it. So I think it turned out pretty good, and I finished it off with these trap doors, and the wood feel with the stone just matches everything really nice. I added some logs over here, put some cobwebs on them. These are like fallen tree style logs. And if we move over to the back side of the base here, I continued the path to make a doorway in the wall. I wanted it to lead to where I was gonna put a watchtower. I started with cobblestone, trying to get the shape right. I decided to go with like a 3x3 kind of style, a bit smaller. I just sculpt the size with the cobblestone, try and get the proportions how I like them. I started scattering in the stone, and even for this one I used a bit of andesite too to add a bit more like texture. I brought out the sides a bit with my stairs, make it look less flat. And then for the top, these trapdoors, I wanted to make a nice roof section. The slabs like this looked really nice, and I ended up changing this to my stairs and slabs. I like the more of the stone look. And yeah, now for the outside, I got these leaves kind of climbing up the tower, a little bit of moss on top, add a bit of texture. The nice wood oak in there, some lamp, and I'd finish it off with some cobwebs and some moss stone, make it look a bit older style. And yeah, I think the tower actually turned out really nice. It's not a huge tower, but I think it looks pretty detailed and kind of cool. So yeah, this is how the base turned out. If you want to see any more builds, let me know, or a part 2 to this. I'm so down to just like add on to it. But anyways, bye. Thanks for watching.